Hey, what's going on to all the good humans out there? Welcome back to the Real Life with Jesus podcast. It's Monty, but I'm here with my boys, Michael and Mateo, back at it again. How y'all doing?
Dude, I don't know. Is it just me? On your way here, bro, I don't know if something's going around, but there was a total of like 9 car crashes,
bro,
on my way here.
Dude, what? Yes, talk about it. Florida, I know it's always been known for like crappy drivers, but today there's been...
It was a bit different.
Yeah, it's been wild, to be honest. Not to mention, bro, literally today I was on my way home and I passed through a plaza because I made a wrong turn. I had to go back to the plaza to get back on the right road or whatever. And freaking, I was driving and this car I guess didn't see me and she was reversing as I was driving and then she literally like hit me. She hit my car.
This is today?
This was today.
Wait, you're telling me this now?
Yeah.
Hello, what?
Yeah, but it wasn't like serious because like, it was.
We see that now.
Yeah, no, because it wasn't like on the highway. It was just like I had to go through a plaza and she was reversing. So it was low speeds. I was driving slow and she was reversing.
Who was at fault? She's at fault?
She was at fault. She didn't
even see you.
No, she didn't even see me. We didn't even exchange insurances because there was no damages on my vehicle. It was more like hers.
Dang.
And I was like, I know you're straight. We're good.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, this day could have been totally different.
Right.
Oh. But it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
There was one time that somebody did hit me and I was driving this old school vehicle and like this old Camry and those old cars, they're all metal. They're not like the plastic.
Yeah, no. They're built different,
this
bro.
lady hit me with her Prius and like I was like, dang, this person just hit me on my way to work. I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh. Call my boss. I'm like, I just got hit by a car. I walk out. There was like no damage on our car. Her whole bumper was on the floor. And I felt so bad because I'm like, well, you hit me. And I ended up getting a police report. It was like the first accident I ever been in. You know what I mean? Like the first like situation. So I do the right things type of thing. So I was like, I guess she's the one who offered. She was like, she started calling. Like she called the police first, and then I was on the phone with my boss trying to be like, I'm gonna be late. Like I'm not trying to get fired.
Facts.
So I was just like. Yeah, I don't know what to do in this situation. I was like just starting to drive, so I was like, I don't know what to do here. Like,
no, definitely, dude. Oh my gosh. Felt that.
But yeah, that's crazy to hear.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts, man. It was really crazy, man. It really was. People just, today's been really weird.
We had no idea this happened. None
at
all.
No.
We were in the blind. We are in the blind.
It's all good though, It's all good.
Yeah. So it's been a while. It's been a while.
It has been. Too long, to be honest.
Life has happened.
It has.
How y'all been in this gap of time? It's been like almost a whole month since we got together.
Right.
COVID, I guess you can say, but more like life. I got teeth pulled out of my mouth and work and everything. How y'all been?
Yeah, not too bad, bro. I'm actually I'm in a good little spot right now. So not too bad. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it, bro.
It's good. Same here, bro.
Yeah,
same.
Perfect.
Nice. But to everybody listening, we're back. We'll be back.
Yes.
We'll be here.
And, keep it in 100.
There'll be more episodes coming into the podcast as time goes by. So stay tuned and stay with us. Thank you for sticking with us and sharing and subscribing and listening and everything like that. Keep commenting. Keep leaving questions for us to answer because we're definitely wanting to interact with everybody out there worldwide.
Or topics.
Topics. Any questions that turn into topics, we're definitely willing to answer. So here with Michael Mateo, as everybody knows, we've been talking about the fruits of the Spirit. Yes. We're coming back to that last week, or not last week, but the last episode. Last couple episodes we talked about faithfulness. Episode before that, we spoke about. I am drawing a blank. Why am I drawing a blank right now?
Self-control.
Yes, self-control. My bad. Yeah, so we talked about self-control last time and self-discipline,
right,
and everything like that. And there was thank you for everybody who commented. That all those comments are exactly what we wanted to get out of it, was understanding that self-control, looking at it in a different light and at what it really is and the root of it. So today though, we've got a double header, I guess you could say. We're going to talk about goodness and kindness and what that looks like. So my first question is though, like with everything that's going on right now and everything with all the craziness, you're working in the office.
I'm working at home.
You're working at home. You're working in the office. You're both working at home.
We're both working at home.
You're both working at home now.
Yeah.
So, but you both work customer service, right?
Yeah.
And so and this is why I want to ask this question because I used to work customer service, no longer do, of course. How does that, like right off the bat, how do you keep and maintain goodness in talking to some of the customers that I know can be they can possibly make you irate, I guess you could say, like.
Yeah, well, they come irate, that makes me irate, and now we're two individuals who are irate now, thanks to you. No, but I feel you. For me, I try to stick to being kind, not necessarily goodness. I think there's two different things. They kind of sound the same, like, those two words, kindness and goodness. But they kind of have two different meanings. We'll probably get a little bit more deeper into that. But I just kind of show kind. I think of it like this, because there's one time I was watching a TED Talk video about this guy who was at an airport. Yeah. It was during the holiday seasons or whatever, but one of his family members just recently passed, and so he was going for like a funeral, just kind of bums because it was Christmas time or whatever. And so he was at the airport, and he was purchasing overly priced breakfast because that's what airports do. And so he was just whatever in line, and he was just like, had his little headphones on or whatever, and he was just waiting in line. And then so he goes up and he starts talking to his customer, or the cashier, and she goes, "Hi, my name is Jamie. What's your name?" And the guy was like, "What? You're so weird. Like, no one's really asked me for my name when I'm coming to order, And point is, they're having a great conversation, and he's obviously going through a tough time, and she's just being positive and kind in general and whatnot, and so he had a pleasant, amazing customer service experience, and he left. And right before he boarded on his plane, he felt he felt drawn to go back to that little restaurant type cafe thing and just say, "Hey, why are you so, like, how are you so positive? How are you so I don't know, it's just, I forgot what was the word he genuinely said, but it was something along the lines of like, why are you so positive, or why are you so happy, or how are you, you know what I'm saying? And she just says, "Well, I just want to be the best version of myself I can at all times." And so the best version of myself does not include attitude, does not include frustration, doesn't include irritation, it doesn't include, stress. It doesn't include that, because honestly, that brings my life negativity. And she was just saying, what if me being stressed out or angry or in a bad mood, what benefit does that to me? Yeah. There is none. So why not be the best version of yourself, feel good, make others feel good despite everything that's going on? Yeah. And the guy was like, "Wow, you really made it. You made a difference." And when I saw that TED Talk, I was like, "Wow, lady, that's facts." Because these people do kind of get me mad, and there's sometimes there's external situations that influence your internal situation, if you will, emotionally speaking. And so definitely after watching that video, I was like, you know what, I want to be the best version of myself that I can be. You know what I'm saying? I do want to be the best version of myself, and then so that kind of ties in, but. So that's really how ever since that video, I try to be more intentional about it. But honestly, it all comes back to Jesus working in me and and being kind as one of the results of the fruits of the Spirit. So it's really a matter of God working in me. Yeah. And then also the fact that, you got to make an effort to try to be the best version of yourself at all times. Yeah.
Well, that was good. I think for me, it was, working in a dispatch center that's specifically catered to the medical field. Yeah. It comes to a point of me having to understand what doctors are going through, especially now. Like, these doctors are stressed out, they're worried, they're freaking out. I mean, their patients are in critical conditions left and right. Yeah. So they can call in irate off rip, like off the bat, and they can call in stressed out, demanding this, demanding
understandably
that.
Too.
Yeah, rightfully so, and that's where it comes down to. And I think that it's my responsibility, obviously, to do my job and perform it well, efficiently, but to also offer that customer courtesy and to offer that kindness to help them, better stabilize their day, to help them keep them cool and keep them sane throughout the day.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Because it's crazy, bro. People undermine the simple things that make the gigantic difference. Yeah. Like, that's people really take that for granted. It's really just about kind of like how that guy said the TED Talk, it was just that one simple transaction. It was nothing out of the ordinary. It's just another customer, just another beverage that the dude bought. But it was an experience, and it's just really about, like you said, just being kind, and it can bring the other person on the other side, calm or whatever they be needing.
Yeah. I think a big thing too is so, and I want to present another situation because it happened to us yesterday. Is how do you keep, especially with everything going on, and I don't know if you've ever dealt with anything like personally with, you know, racism or anything like that, but how do you, and it's not just racism or like that I'm asking for, but like, how do you keep your cool in a situation where, like, I love Andy Maneo's lyric, if it wasn't for God, man, I'd bust your teeth. So like, how do you keep your cool in a situation, like, let's say you're
in the very controversial situations?
So ready? Let me just share a little bit something, because I don't want to.
Okay.
So
I see you, guy.
We were yesterday into Publix, and I was with my lovely wife, and I was like, yo, Publix has been running out of the deli meat that I like. So I was like, yo, I'm about to order like 3 pounds of it, right? My wife was like, what, 3 pounds? I'm like, look, they're running out. I just need it now. You know, I want it to last because I love me some turkey, right? So we go to Publix. We was going to get some subs.
Only him, though. 3 pounds of this. Like, yo, what? 3 pounds, yo.
Yeah, so look.
Oh my God.
I just needed it. I needed it because they're running out, yo. They're running out. You know, deliveries are not happening. COVID's like blocking everything, yo. It's crazy out there. It's a you gotta like fight. At the end of the day, I might have to like hunt some turkeys myself just to get my meat. So like, you know, your boys might be recruited to, you know, be my spotter or something.
Whatever, man. I'm down.
But look, so we're at the Publix, right? We go to get subs. And then I was like, yo, if they got the turkey here, our Publix didn't have it, I'm going to get me some turkey. So I go over there, you know, social distancing and everything. Everybody's wearing the mask. So, you know, we talk about this, and then, you know, you could barely hear the people on the other side of you and stuff like that. So I don't know why we even have them on if I'm already 6 feet from you, you know what I mean? So I got the thing. She's finishing. My wife's finishing up the order for the subs. So I was like, let me go over here. It looks like they got the turkey. So the lady's on the other side of the counter. She's like, how can I help you? And I was like kind of like waiting because I didn't hear it at first. Like I heard something, I'm like to me, because there was other people.
Double checking, right?
Yeah. And she was like, yeah, how can I help you? She was doing something else too. She was like bagging other meat. So I was like, I just want to get, you know, 3 pounds of the honey smoked turkey breast over there, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, you want... Yeah, I want the 3 pounds of the turkey, you know, honey smoked turkey. Repeat
the order.
Yeah, so just in case she didn't, you know, get it right the first time. And so I repeated it the same way, right? I want the Publix brand honey smoked turkey breast, right? And that's what I ordered. That's what I get. So at this point, the second time around when I had said it again, my wife had came, and then the lady goes, okay, turkey, whatever. So lady goes back. She goes to get the stuff, and
I feel like this is gonna go wrong. Someone messes up.
And this is where, like, and even thinking about it, I'm like, you know, it's kind of shady. So this is where, so at first she goes and she grabs the right product, right? And I don't know if you've ever been to either Walmart deli, to Publix deli to get deli meat. Mm-hmm. When they cut the meat and they're done with it, but there's still more, they like wrap in saran wrap, put it in the fridge, right? Because it's still good to be cut. So she gets like literally like not even like a quarter pound of it that is there. And I saw it because there, you know, it has a certain texture on the outside. So I was like, oh, cool, they got it.
They got the right one, right?
But I saw they had one in the front fridge. So I was like, oh, she's probably gonna get the one in the front fridge to, you know, make it 3 pounds, right?
To add it on or whatever.
And so then I'm like, okay, she got the right one. Then she like did something. She went somewhere. She got this other turkey, and it's like this big, kind of like the regular like turkey breast, like boiled turkey breast or something like that. That's like cut. She starts like cutting away, and I'm like, is she filling another bag? You know, because she was working on something beforehand. Like I saw her grab the one. And just you know, because I don't like to start anything, and I try to be nice as I like at all times. And my wife is already like, she's like, what is she doing? That's not the right one. I was like, hold on, I was like, excuse me, ma'am. I wanted the honey smoked turkey breast, and she's like, oh, you said turkey, and I'm like, I repeated myself twice. You grabbed the right product first, and this is why I was like, wait, you grabbed the right product first, like. And then I'm like, oh, you know, I even said sorry, right? Because I'm always the one. My wife's like, you're not supposed to say sorry. She messed up. And I'm like, it's okay, right? So the lady's like, she goes, she puts it, she's like, you know, you said, that's what you said. You said turkey. And I'm like, nah.
So now she's giving you an issue about like fixing.
Kind of.
Oh my God.
Which I was like, look, at the end of the day, she did cut like 6 or 7 slices. That's the same turkey they use for the subs. So all she got to do is like, nothing really happened bad, I guess you could say. Like she's not going to waste.
It was a fixable situation.
Yeah. Like it wasn't like she was wasting product because, you know, we've all worked in that situation.
Right.
You know, you've worked at Publix for like never waste product type of thing.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, she puts it over there. basically, so she goes back and then she comes around. She says, we don't have what you're talking about. And I'm like, yeah, you do. It's right here in the fridge. Like, it's right here. And then I'm thinking, like, but you just grabbed the right product in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, well, we don't have that. And I'm like she was like trying to trying to
shoo you off, like just horse crap you a little bit.
Yeah, like she's like, and I'm like, nah, like you have it right here. And then, you know, they come out and she's like, oh, we do. She comes out and like, okay. And then she grabs that one. And then, like, I don't know if she was trying to do sleight of hand, but it was really bad. She grabbed the original one because she grabbed the original product in the beginning, like I said. And she, like, started cutting that one. I'm like, so you had it. You just didn't want to. And then, you know, with everything going on and all the craziness, you know, you don't want to think in your head because, you know, we were of opposite skin colors. You don't want to think, like, and in that area, I'm not going to say where I was because I don't want people to, like, cancel culture or whatever, going crazy on my behalf. But that area is primarily, like, I'm the only one there that looks like me. So why was I there? Because we was going to the beach. But I was like, yo, might as well take advantage. I got a cooler. I can keep this deli meat cold. So when that happened, you know, in the back of my head, the enemy likes to say, yo, she's racist, bro. Like, you know, get up, say something. You know what I mean? Like the flesh in you wants to be like, really? Like you know? And I love my wife, but she was ready to like go to bat for me. And I'm like, nah, just calm down. It's not that serious. Like, in the moment, it's like, and she knows I'm like that in every scenario. I try to be as like good, like I do have a I do have a limit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one to just be like, oh, push over. But like in that situation, like, you know, I don't know, she was having a bad day. I don't know like what was going through her head. I don't know why she tried to shoot me off. Like, you still got to do your job. It was only like 12 o'clock. I doubt your shift was coming to be ended. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Publix was already opening later, so you were only working like 3 hours, even if you came in on time, or an hour early, you were working 4 hours. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even. You know, or you waiting to go on lunch? I don't know. Basically, it was like in that moment, I could have popped off like right there because the assistant manager was there and the manager was behind me. It was like both there. We had seen their picture and we saw their names. Like, oh, and you know, in Publix they wear, you know, they wear the polos or whatever, or the button downs, and I could have popped off easily and been like, yo, what the heck? I could have like said like, no, I did tell you it was like you know what I mean? I could have like raised my voice a little bit, got an attitude, escalate
the situation.
And exactly, I could have escalated to a point where I'm like, So the question is like, how, like, I could say how I keep my.
Wait. So at the end of the day, did you get your meat, dog?
I did get the 3 pounds of turkey.
God, bro.
I got the 3 pounds of turkey
concerned.
after she was going in on like, she was just like
aggressively slicing
the turkey, and it was a funny sight to see because you could tell that the lady was pretty upset. I don't know why. I really don't. I tried everything.
I bet you she was trying to buy that 3 pounds, dog.
Imagine she was like, this is the only turkey that we have left, and this
I believe it, bro. I'd be
pounds.
pretty mad too, yo.
So but in the moment I'm like, yo, like, nice job. Like, I talked to myself, so I'm like, good job keeping it cool. You could have been like, you could have just blown this lady on, like put her on the spot right there, like why she got to act like that. Like, I'm not even coming at her no type of sideways, and then I could have. So what I ask is, because everybody's different, and how do you keep it cool? How do you keep it cool, man? It's, you know, in the other way around, not like customers, like not the worker, but like,
but just like now I'm the customer or whatever.
So how do you keep it cool?
I think for me, it was my experience in customer service that's like kind of helped me build that. Like, it's again, it comes back to a point of understanding. Like, if they make a simple, and I'm not coming at you, I'm it's just my perspective. Like, oh, okay, if they make a simple mistake, like, oh, I know how it is. Or if you're a waitress or a host or anything like that nature, I know it's like if it's a peak day or if it's a peak time, like I know how it is. So I won't really trip, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Matt?
Yeah, that's well, for me, personally, when it comes to food, I don't play. Don't play with my food, bro. Yeah, that is not
kindness level. Kind of evens out.
Right,
with the
a little
food.
bit. We don't know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. A little bit. Especially like if I'm in a restaurant and I tell you medium rare, and if it does not come back to my standard, I will tell you, sir, we have an issue here. Please trade this out. Yeah. Oh, what's wrong with it? It's look at this, and then it could be like, maybe it could just be, I don't know. I'm just very picky with that.
Yeah.
So I would definitely, not that I lose my cool, but I would definitely address the situation with sternness.
Yeah. And that's not necessarily losing your cool. I mean, you just address it. I mean, and that's the other thing, because like people, I understand the counter argument of, but you're the customer, right? The customer's always right in those situations. And so I understand the counter argument to the max. So like I got my wife behind me, like, no, that's like you like, you know. And I'm like, look, I understand it, because in those situations too, I try to be as approachable
Right.
as possible, because once they take that plate back to the kitchen, who knows what's gonna happen. We know we all think about they spit on my food and all that stuff.
They could. I was like, but if, as long as it comes back medium rare and they spat on it, I don't care.
Is it as long as it comes back medium rare. But there's not a point. Have you ever lost your cool and been like, yo,
Well, then
Papi, what the heck?
No. No, I've never lost my cool, only because I was never really that type of individual to begin with.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there has been moments where, let's say, the customer comes at me a certain way, and I didn't do nothing. I didn't. No. Listen, bro. I didn't. No, it's a serious situation when it comes up, because for me, I'm gonna give you a little like background about my job. Basically, like you call in, but we FaceTime, and you see my face, I see your face, and then we do what we got to do. It's a banking or whatever, and so like they becoming a little hostile on me a little bit, like a little twisted. They didn't come correct a little bit, and, you know, I'm over here trying to assist them. All right. So
I'm trying to help them out.
I'm trying to help them, and they're coming at me, you know, a little bit twisted, bro. I remember this. He was an older gentleman. And, this guy, dude.
Oh yeah, you told me the story.
Dude, this guy had. Oh my gosh, let me tell you. But like, it was just to kind of answer your question. What I do to keep cool? When in those moments, I'm not gonna lie, I don't keep my cool all the time, but like I give maybe. It's not passive. It's not passive attitude, but it's more like I'll give you some comments that definitely makes you like, okay, he just said that. He just said that. For example, let me give you an example. That guy was like, he's just being a rude person or whatever. Whatever. And like I asked him, I was like, hey, would you like a image of the check on the receipt? He was like, no, I don't need that. I purposely gave him one. Just kind of like just a shirt, like, you know, just like kind of like those type of things, like, take that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's my way of like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like losing my cool, or maybe just like hit them up with some little bit of attitude, the way that they're coming at me. Yeah. But other than that, I don't like lose my cool as in like, I see some people lose some cool in public. Yeah. I don't know. Whoa. I don't know how upset you have to get to that point, but there's some people. Yeah. And I never really got to that point. I think it's also individual, like your temperament, your individual temperament, how you are as an individual. So I think that also plays part in it.
You know, I'm trying to think, because I'm like, there had to have been a moment where I've like approached the situation before, like looking at it. You know what I mean? Right. Like there has to be a moment where, and I'm not like possibly, but like I think I'm trying to think back when I was on the phones too. And I'm like, I've had people just call and be like, you turned off my phones. And I'm like, I wish I did, but I didn't, like in my head. Cause I'm like, we don't have the power to like, just like,
actually be doing that.
You off, you know what I mean? Like, no, like you didn't pay your bill for like 3 months. Like, I don't know what to do, but to tell you to pay your bill and then you can get your phones back on. And so, and speaking about like kindness and stuff like that, like what is, and let's break this down. What is kindness for you? Like, what does that look like for you? Like,
you want to take this one? Well, before we go into that topic, I forgot this is something that I do to keep my cool. Right. I tell myself whenever this situation happens and it's happening in front of my eyes, is like as I speak or whatever, I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting flustered. This person's kind of taking me off. I always remember myself like, okay, you know what? It's not even worth it. I gave up my right to be offended. I literally say that to myself. I gave up my right to be offended.
I like that.
Because Jesus literally gave up his right. You know what I'm saying? Like if he would have kept all the offenses that people have did to him, even when he was walking on this earth, like he had every right. He didn't do anything, and he had every right to keep the offense. Be like, no, I'm not gonna do it because you did X, Y, Z, and he, you know, but he didn't. He doesn't. Yeah, and it's so cool because even when we see him like correct people in the Bible, he does it out of like a place of just straight correction, not out of a place of like offense. It's not, and it's love. And that's the thing. What? Like this man exactly, like, and so love. Like, that's exactly, and so really, that's kind of what I take part in, and that's what I tell myself. Like, you know what, I gave up the right to be offended, and that's it. So I let it go. I like that. Yeah. But back to your question, you said, what does kindness look like? What does kindness look for you?
Kindness for me, it's just about, I guess, just being, to keep it basic, just being gentle and being courteous and being considerate, right? Yeah. If you will, and just doing good deeds and doing good gestures, just out of goodwill, not out of expectation.
For sure. I like that.
I feel that. For me, kindness, I think kindness is like someone's nature. So it's like who they are as an individual. What does kindness pertain? I think kindness is kind of like you said, like gentle, respectful, courteous. What is that one? That one C word. Considerate.
Yeah.
Very considerate. Humble. Very. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's what really kindness is. Kind of like someone's nature, and it implies with all of those attributes that we mentioned. That's what I believe.
And so when we look at because I was able to pull up definition of kindness, and just to read it right off the bat, right? Kindness conveys the meaning of moral goodness, integrity, usefulness, and I love the word integrity. Let's break down integrity, because moral goodness will bring us into the next part. Integrity. What does integrity look like for y'all? Like, what is that off rip? What does that mean for y'all?
I honestly thought I was just being honest.
No, yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
That's part of it. That's definitely part of
Yeah.
it. Integrity for me is I guess being/behaving in a manner correctly, even when no one's looking.
Yeah. And so,
So
the biggest thing, right, and I think a lot of our brothers and sisters and a lot of people just, a lot of the times we have, we put on a facade or a mask. And I think the integrity part is what we challenge with a lot. And if I can ask this question, because we're definitely going to go like deep in it. How do you practice that integrity with your walk with Jesus? Like, how do you practice doing the right thing even when no one's looking, when the only person you've got is yourself and the Holy Spirit? Like, how do you, like, what do you come to be like, I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to say the right words. I'm going to not look at that on social media. I'm not going to post about that on social media. Or like, what do you do to actually honor that integrity? Because it is about being honest.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is about being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was just like, well, like how you said, when there's no one watching, but there is someone watching. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what it is. That's just definitely kept me, even when I'm like on the absolute verge, like I've done all these bad things, but I'm on the verge of making a big mistake.
Yeah.
That's when like things kind of start to boil down. Like, okay, Jesus is staring at me right now.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of just relaxed.
For me, it's kind of like, it's because I know Jesus is watching me. I then start to think, all right, should I really do this? Like, like, do I really want to do that? Do I really want to? Will it benefit me, or will it just end up in feeling void or whatever? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I kind of just think about it a little bit longer, and then I end up not doing it. I just kind of just stop to think a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of it is really just, I kind of just try to stop and think before I do something, before I react.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I'm being triggered at the moment, and then that's when I take the moment to analyze and like, okay, relax. Like, okay, let's think about this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't lie to you guys. And I just felt the need to share it. Like I've considered that Jesus is watching me, and yet I'll still slip up, like intentionally. Right. And because like the devil will send me a lie, and I don't know if anybody listening right now can relate. The devil will send me a lie, not necessarily a lie. It's a twisted truth, saying that, oh, God will forgive you.
Slick bastard.
God will.
Sorry, he is. I'm sorry, but
God, he still loves you. It's okay. God still loves you. His love, you can never stray far from his love. It's never ending. It's never that. Right. Even though it's true that you can't take advantage of it, and from time to time take advantage of it.
We do, definitely.
So.
Like you said, he's slick, a little dirty. Yeah, man. But that's, with that being said, I feel you on that 100%, bro. Yeah, I feel you on that 100%.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing is like integrity is such a thing, like, because like, and this is why integrity is such a thing, because so Jesus, like I always say, he ups the ante, like he ups it, right? He talks about, being angry at a brother is just as much committing murder, right?
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, right, and looking at a woman lustfully, you've committed adultery in your heart.
That's right.
So he ups the ante to like, your mind needs to be right? Right. Always, practice to renew your mind, right? So with him up in the ante, right? I always, and when I found the word integrity in looking at kindness, I'm like, oh snap, like kind of been doing it wrong. And you might be like, what do you mean? So if Jesus up the ante and said think, like, you got to have your mind right, basically, and your heart right, because, you know, they correlate. If in my public scenario, right, if in my mind I'm like, I'm ready to pop off, might as well just pop off, right?
I feel that.
So you see what I'm saying? So like,
100%.
if I'm over here thinking the scenario, you know, if you angry at a brother, you might as well commit murder. And if you lustfully look at a woman, you might as well commit adultery. Is it not the same? And some people are like, no, because the Bible didn't say. Jesus upped the ante. He didn't. It wasn't like written plainly, you know, every single thing. If you think this, then it's actually this. And if you do this. But if you think about it, if we're supposed to be renewing our minds with the word of God and with the Holy Spirit and everything, we shouldn't even be thinking that. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
And that's why I was telling my wife, like, no, just calm down. Like, because I'm like, but the thoughts of, yo, she's being racist and stuff like that was already filling my mind, because what happened is I'm trying to get an understanding of why she acted like that in the first place. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just like you said, I love what you said when you said, I gave up the right to be offended, because Jesus did. And so even though it might be, you know, it might be somewhat of like, you know, innocent, I guess you could say, to just try to figure out why she was acting like that.
Right.
I started like, well, she was acting like that maybe because she racist, you know what I mean? She was acting like that maybe because, you know, whatever. And I'm already like, well, then is she racist? Then, like, you know what I mean? Like, like, that's messed up, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm already trying to be offended by that, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But if our first thought is just like, I'm just going to be kind because what can you say or do, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
That's going to move me. And I think that's the biggest thing about integrity is like, what are our thoughts doing when it comes to like kindness? Because we can be kind out here,
right?
But
But
in
in
mind,
mind,
here.
yeah.
But what scenario and what movie am I playing in my mind
Exactly.
that puts that whole scenario in a whole, that could have been in a whole different situation?
Exactly.
And so, like, you know, so basically, you know, I definitely want to put a quick pause right there. I want to say thank you to everybody listening. A little bit on kindness and things like that. I want to talk about goodness. I want to do a quick pause. I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to the boys. We're going to talk about goodness in our next episode. So just stick with us and stick by us and keep listening and give us some comments on what you feel, you know, you work and how you work with kindness and integrity and things like that. And join us for the next episode on how we talk about goodness and things like that. And stay with us, stay sharing with us, and stay just in it and listening and everything like that. All right. We love you guys, and we'll see you.
All right. Peace, guys. Thank you.
Deuces, guys.